One of the most surprising starts this season has been the Minnesota Vikings. They are one of two teams left still undefeated. The offense with Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, and Aaron Jones have been a big reason of why they've got off to this start. So today, let's take a deeper look at their X's and O's and how they're executing to get off to this fast start. So let's start with the run game. This is not a scheme that uses a lot of pulling linemen. Their biggest plays have come off of duo and ISO variations and wide zone. Here's an example of ISO versus the Packers that creates one of their biggest runs of the game. So the Vikings here are in 21 personnel, which means they have 2 running backs and 1 tight end. So the tight end's going to base out here, and then we're going to get double team. So we're going to get double team here to that linebacker, a double team here to that linebacker, and then we're going to base here with the fullback fitting on that Sam linebacker. The line gets great movement here, and with the back attacking with the flow of the lineman, it gets them to step up to set up this double team, allowing for that cutback lane and a big run. Here it is again against Houston. Now they're going to motion an extra guy and get 2 guys leading up in the hole to create their biggest play of the game. So this play is all about angles, and so we're going to get down block here, double team to that linebacker, base there. So because we have this receiver now in the C gap, we can kick here, he can lead on this guy, and he can lead in the hole there. You can see that the seam those 2 ISO blocks create, and the safety fills, but he's able to make him miss, and it's off to the races. Similar to ISO, they also use duo, which created quite a few explosive plays for them. So for the offensive line, it's almost identical. We're still responsible for our gap, and if we're uncovered, we can double. So you're going to get a double from these 2, a double from these 2, and a base from here. That would be the same whether it was ISO or duo. The change comes in how are they handling the backside and the back's path. So in this instance here, these 2 are actually going to double team as well to this linebacker. And on the ISO scheme before, they were attacking play side with the potential to cut back. Now the back will attack this A gap right here, reading the fit of this linebacker. If he fits that A gap here, then he'll bounce it out. If he flows one way or the other, leaving the A gap open, he'll cram it right down there. So 54 steps up, leaving nowhere up the middle for the running back to go, so he bounces it outside. Here it is again versus the 49ers, but this time it hits out of the back end. So same blocking scheme, same read, but you can see Bosa gets penetration here, not allowing the back to bounce this thing out. So he presses it here and finds a gap on the backside. So when they want to pound inside, they use their ISO and duo schemes. But when they want to attack the perimeter or the tackle area, they use their wide zone scheme, which pairs perfectly with the other 2. Here's a wide zone week 1 versus the Giants. So this is a similar formation as we saw earlier and would be a good one to run duo. But any offense wants to be able to attack both sides of the formation, so they're going to run wide zone weak instead. So we're just going to get reach. We're going to get a double reach here, a double reach here, where they're trying to get horizontal movement here and cut off these linebackers. And we're going to get this tight end cutting off there. Now the running back's read is different than before. Now he's attacking right outside the tackle, and he's reading his block. If he gets a kick and this guy stays outside, he'll cut it up. If he somehow stunts in here and is able to reach him, he'll bounce it to the perimeter. So the running back knows he's cutting it up inside. And now he's just going to find the first available daylight he can see and get north and south. So here it is later in the game, same formation, same play, and another big first down pickup. So he's going to press. That ball's coming inside, but instead of the huge cutback, the first lane's right inside the tackle. He's able to run through the first tackle and pick up some good yards. So here's that same formation as the last two wide zone weeks, but this time they're going to motion a tight end over and still run it to that side, but now it's wide zone strong with a tight end. So the Vikings want to get another guy at the point of attack, so now they're going to run wide zone strong. It really doesn't change much for the offensive line, but now that tight end is responsible for the defensive end. The running back's now going to read the block of the tight end, but he still has the inside out, but it's just now a man wider, and it doesn't change much for him. Tight end gets great movement, creating that seam in the C gap. And they get another big run. Sam Darnold has proved to be effective in the passing game. And Justin Jefferson is an elite wide receiver who's at the top of the NFL in receiving. The Vikings love to use motion into concepts to get their receivers a running start. Here they're going to motion into a smash concept. So the receiver here is motioning into a deep corner route, and this outside receiver is going to run a curl, which creates a high-low stretch on this corner. If the defense covers the smash well, then Darnold can work Jefferson over the middle of the field. That was his favorite target in this concept, and he hits it most of the time. Jefferson works into the void, and Darnold hits it. Here's the same concept later against the 49ers. This time the linebacker's walling that route there, so instead of settling here in the middle, he keeps running down the seam. They've got 3/2 on the smash, so Darnold works the seam read again. Delivers a nice back shoulder ball in traffic. They're going to work it here out of empty versus the Texans, and Darnold's still going to work that middle route. This time, this middle route's got man coverage, and instead of just sitting here, he's going to set up the defender acting like he's going to run across, and then he's going to work back into the space. Darnold steps up in the pocket. And no, it's not the greatest throw. He connects for a first down. Another common concept or different variations of Dagger. So they're under center here with play action, and this is a pretty common concept across the NFL. So they're going to use this inside receiver to blow the top off. You don't see that hit very often. The outside receiver here runs a dig into that void that seam is cleared out. Now the Vikings are going to add an extra layer and put another in route over the middle of the field to help hold those linebackers. The play action plus the inside dig creates the hole for Jefferson to work in. Here it is again versus the Packers, this time out of the gun. The Packers are in a cover 2 look here, so this safety has everything deep. And it's a Tampa type cover 2 because this Mike is running with that seam route. The first in carries that linebacker, and you can see here that there's about to be a void open up for the primary dig. And there it is. Versus the Jets here, they use more of a traditional dagger. So they're going to play action under center, and there's not that third receiver here. So you're going to have, here's your seam route, and here's your dig coming in behind. The corner has outside leverage, and again, the dig works into the space in the middle of the field. Here they're going to work a double cross concept. So the primary here is these 2 deep crosses right here across the middle. Hopefully getting a safety to chase across the field and somebody to pop wide open. They're going to use this vertical route to hold this free safety, and then they've got flat routes down here. These combinations hopefully will create a void on each side for the crossers to work into. With 2 guys running with Jefferson, this is the clear open route into this area of the field. They go back to it here versus Green Bay, this time with under center play action. And this time Jefferson's able to get to that voided spot for another first down pickup. They dialed up again this weekend versus the Jets and get 2 defenders to collide. Really, either receiver's wide open. And a third big play off the double cross concept. Though it's still early in the season, Vikings fans have a lot to be hopeful for. We'll see if Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson can keep this offense going and moving in the right direction.